Hi, Jackson. I'm going to read a story called Tessa's Tip-Tapping Toes, written by Carolyn Crimmy and illustrated by Marcia Gray Carrington. Tessa had swinging arms, skipping feet, and tip-tapping toes. She was built to dance. Most mice scurried along floorboards and ledges, trying not to be seen. Not Tessa. She boogied, she bopped, she shimmied, she hopped. She flounced and she bounced, but she never scurried. "Tessa, stop twirling so," her mother would scold. Tessa would try to stop with every 1 ounce of her beboppin', hip-hoppin' heart, but when her toes weren't tip-tappin', they felt all wrong. At night, Tessa and her family raided Miss Tiffany's kitchen, hunting for crumbs. But instead of hurrying and scurrying, Tessa juggled jelly beans and sashayed with salt shakers. She loved to tap dance across the teapot, wearing her bottle-cap slippers. Clickety-clack-clack, Tessa danced. Then one day, Mrs. Tiffany got a cat. His name was Oscar, and his head was filled with songs. Most cats like dozens of windowsills, dozing on windowsills or curling up on fresh piles of laundry. Not Oscar. He crooned on the kitchen counters, sang in the sinks, and trilled on the dining room table. "Oscar, stop all that racket," called Mrs. Timboni. "What will the neighbors think?" Oscar tried stopping with every ounce of his sing-songing humdinger of a heart, but when his tongue wasn't trilling, he felt all wrong. As soon as Tessa's mother heard Oscar's crooning, she worried that the new cat would catch her daughter dancing. "You must be careful," she told Tessa. "No more bounding, no leaping, no spinning. From now on you will scamper and scurry like a proper mouse." So Tessa hurried and scurried. She skittered and scampered. She stayed low to the ground and didn't make a sound. But it was so hard, so hard. When she heard Oscar's songs, Tessa bit her tail to keep herself from dancing. Within a week, the neighbors complained about Oscar. Mrs. Timboni worried that they would ask her to get rid of the chorusy kitty. "You must be more careful," she told Oscar. "No more singing, no crooning or caterwauling. From now on, you will nap and chase mice like a proper cat." So Oscar napped until noon and dozed right through dinner. At night, he chased the scurrying, hurrying mice back into their holes. But it was hard, so hard. When he heard the skitter-scamper of little mouse feet, Oscar bit his tongue to keep himself from singing. Then spring came. Dozens of daffodils danced in the yard, and green leaves rustled in the breeze. Tessa watched the daffodils sway. She longed to dance, but she remembered her mother's warning and kept still. Oscar listened to the leaves swish. He longed to sing, but he remembered Miss Timboni's warning and kept silent. Until one night when Oscar was awakened by the ting-ting-ting of rain on the roof. Oscar's tongue twitched, his throat throbbed, his teeth chattered, and his lips quivered. Before he knew it, a song sprang out of his mouth. "Do-woppa-woppa, do-woppa-woppa," he sang, "do-lang, do-lang, do-lang." That same sliver of song wore into way into Tessa's dreams. Her tail curled, her fingers snapped, her head bebopped, and her toes tip-tapped. Without opening her eyes, she waltzed towards the dancing sounds. The rain poured down harder and harder. Oscar sang louder and louder. "Diddle-dee, diddle-dee, diddle-dee, do-wop-wop, do-wop-wop." Tessa frolicked and frisked in time to the song. She danced round and round until she lost her balance and bumped into Oscar's food bowl with a clatter. Suddenly, Tessa woke up. Oscar stopped singing. He spun towards the noise. Cat and mouse stood staring at each other. All was quiet except for the rain on the roof. Only one thing came to Tessa's mind. Before Oscar could twitch a whisker, Tessa tip-tapped her toes in time to the rain. Oscar's mouth dropped open. Tessa wiggled her middle to the clap of thunder. Oscar shook his head and blinked. Tessa burst into an all-out rock and roll, boogie-woogie, hip-hop, two-step combo. Oscar watched, eyes wide. Finally, he cleared his throat and belted out a rowdy, riotous tune just right for dancing feet. Tessa moved to the groove. Up, down, round and round, jump, shout, kick it out, swish, swash, shake it loose. She felt so good she couldn't stop if she tried. Tessa's mother crept carefully out of her hole. "Tessa, stop," she whispered. But Tessa couldn't hear her. She kept dancing to Oscar's song. Then Miss Timbany rushed out to the kitchen in her bathrobe. "Oscar, stop," she pleaded. But Oscar couldn't hear her. He kept singing to Tessa's dancing. Before long, Tessa's mother's tail twitched. She tapped her tiny toes. Then Miss Timbany's throat itched. She hummed a little tune. Soon everyone was dancing and singing along with Oscar's song. Do-wang, doodle-bang, doodle-doodle-doo. By the time the neighbors called to complain, no one could even hear the phone ring. And they danced hippy-hop-hop, and they sang doodle-wop-wop all night long. The end.